I ever have kids, like I want them to be able to eat salmon. You know, I want there to be salmon for the future, and the way things are going right now, there's not going to be.
So going back in time, what we could have done that we didn't do is to make an early decision to protect some of our best wild salmon rivers and just say, you know what, these are for healthy wild salmon runs.
日本人にとってはやはり食料として非常に大事にされています。
Лосось имеет не только как бы экономическое значение, еще и культурное.
I feel this deep sense of loss in the lower 48 when it comes to salmon. And I think it's very tragic and it's sad. We've lost our cultural icon.
残念ながら日本の川というのはですね、1970年代までに非常に人工的に変わっちゃったんですよ。でそのために魚が住む場所が非常に少なくなってちゃってですね、野生の鮭が非常に今少ないんですね。
Salmon stocks are being affected by a number of things.
Years of unchecked, virtually unregulated, clear-cut logging right to the banks of salmon streams, incredible erosion.
We fished it to death, and we assumed that at the point we stopped it would recover, and it never really has.
Рыборазводные заводы в нашем случае, в наших условиях, не смогут заменить высокопроизводительные дикие экосистемы по воспроизводству лосося. Ни в коем случае.
We realized looking back that the best fish hatchery is a healthy wild river.
When I'm working in Alaska, I get this incredible sense of hope because they're still there and they're still thriving there.
Russia still has the habitat. They've got the most beautiful and productive and pristine rivers where salmon start coming in the spring and they don't stop until the fall. You can see the runs from a helicopter swimming up the river. 24 hours a day, waves of salmon, chinook, pink, sockeye, coho, masu, thousands of char coming up. It's just amazing.
На Камчатке изумительно хорошо сохранилась природа. 97% территории Камчатки дикие. Когда ты думаешь, что все это может пропасть, так как это уже пропало на северо-западе США, становится страшно.
For Kamchatka alone, the illegal harvest of salmon has reached 55,000 tons a year. Some cases are taking almost the entire run, killing the fish, just stripping the females of their eggs, and then leaving these giant, huge piles of dead salmon.
Браконьерство в любом случае представляет угрозу, потому что это, во-первых, это уже работа на нерестилищах, по большей части. Это, грубо говоря, в родильном доме резня идет. Но на примере Камчатки мы знаем несколько водоемов, которые утратили свое значение именно благодаря браконьерству.
И если не будет рыбы, то едва ли будет возможна жизнь этих малых народов, населяющих Камчатку. Поэтому забота о лососе – это одновременно и забота о человеке.
People forget that we're part of nature, and that when we destroy nature, we destroy ourselves.
If your salmon runs aren't healthy, then your watershed isn't healthy. And if your watershed isn't healthy, we are truly mortgaging our future and really degrading the legacy that we were going to hand on to our kids.
When they leave the ocean and they come back into the freshwater streams, they are the ocean, you know, kind of recreated or incarnate, you know, whatever we want to call it. And they're bringing with them, they're in their bodies, they're just these little wonderful packages now of ocean nutrients. And so they come into the streams, again, the bears pluck them out, spread them all over the forest, the bodies decay, and the trees and the other vegetation absorb them through the roots.
Protect and restore wild salmon is going to take communities on every one of those wild salmon rivers to love their river and protect and do things to restore the wild salmon. It's going to take a lot of things, but one piece of that we've got to get right is the stronghold strategy. And the stronghold strategy means that you identify your last best places in each part of the Pacific Rim, and you make an early effort to protect those and keep bad things from happening to those places, because the cost of protection can be lower than the cost of restoration.
Необходим именно вот такой союз, который объединит все страны и всех заинтересованных, и ученых, и общества, которые, на территории которых не рестится лосось.
The idea of salmon stronghold legislation. This is something that we hadn't done before, but we need to recognize, instead of focusing all of our energy, all of our money, all of our time in trying to bring back fish that once were, we need to look at the healthy areas and the healthy watersheds and figure out how to make sure they stay that way.
I would hate to be part of a generation that 100 years from now, historians would look back and say, they lost the salmon. What a commentary that would be on all of us.